As you know, FIFA has announced a total prize pool of $30 million for France 2019, just 7.5% of what was on offer at the Men's World Cup in Russia last year. While the women's prize money has doubled from $15 million in 2015, the men's pot grew by $42 million in the same cycle, so the gap has actually widened. Some may defend this decision by saying that even though the gender gap grew in actual terms, the women's pot grew by a higher percentage than the men's did. But if we look at what would happen if the World Cup kiddies continued to rise at 12% and 100% respectively, we'll see that it would take 20 years for the gap to finally close, which is hardly an acceptable timeline for any organisation serious about gender equality. FIFA claims to be serious. Its statutes were amended in 2016 to embed gender equality into its DNA, specifically resolving to stamp out any discrimination on the basis of gender and explicitly seeking to promote the development of women's football. But FIFA's actions don't back up these nice words. The Women's World Cup champions won't even receive as much prize money as the Men's Confederations Cup winners in 2017, despite having to play 2 more games to lift their trophy. And while FIFA is offering $11.5 million to help Women's World Cup teams prepare for France, this is less than 25% of what men's teams received for this purpose in Russia, which implies incorrectly that women are less needing or deserving of world-class preparation and conditions. FIFA's 2018 financial reports reveal 2 truths which show it can afford to do much better for female players right now. First is that FIFA made a profit of $1.2 billion over its 4-year cycle, 12 times what it budgeted for, and now has reserves of nearly $3 billion. FIFA is sitting on so much cash that it even changed its rules to allow it to put more of its idle funds in the stock market. It wants to invest in equities instead of equality. Second is that its top 2 executives, President Gianni Infantino and General Secretary Fatma Samoura, are on more than $4 million between them, which is more than the prize money for the entire Women's World Cup champion team. The FIFA Council and senior management are collectively paid $29.3 million a year, the same as the entire World Cup prize pool. And as you know, prize money is only what FIFA pays to the member associations, not to the players directly. So each World Cup player will only receive a 23-way split of some smaller cut of the prize money they earn for their federation. For instance, the Australian women's and men's national teams have both bargained for the same 30% shares of prize money, meaning that if the Matildas were to win the World Cup in France, they would end up with half of what the Socceroos got just for qualifying for Russia. To make matters worse, FIFPro research has found that due to low club wages, women rely far more than men do on national team income to make a living from the game. On top of the need to adhere to its own stated principles of fairness, there's a strong case that going all in on gender equality would simply be smart business for FIFA. Sponsors such as Visa and Adidas have recently announced equal spending on women's and men's football, and others like Nike and Barclays have also stepped up their investments. Brands are quickly realising the opportunity that comes with staking a claim in women's sport, which is booming around the world and which reflects the positive values they want to be associated with. FIFA could stake a claim as the global leader in women's sport, making an historic statement which would resonate around every pitch and every boardroom in the football industry. But it's just not getting it. Player associations from Australia, Sweden, the US and New Zealand wrote to FIFA last year simply to seek consultation before a decision on World Cup prize money was made, but the FIFA Council ignored this request and went ahead with its announcement. So now we must step up the fight for fairness. We can't wait 20 years to catch up to the men. We can't let another generation of players retire without parity. This year, this World Cup, has to be the time when the same trophy is respected with the same value. Our goal is now.